Greetings, we are Anonymous, bringing you this message. Dairy is nature's superfood, but only if you're a calf. The USDA recommends drinking 3 glasses of milk a day. This is a recommendation not based on science, but on consumerism, on profits. According to the dairy industry, the main reason they exist is to make sure you're getting enough calcium, right? In a Western diet there is milk in everything. Salads, lollies, chocolate, breads, ready-made soups, instant food sachets, sauces, dressings, biscuits, coffee and tea, dips, everything, which in their logic makes no sense. Westerners has the highest rates of osteoporosis, especially when we have so many ads for calcium we are not getting enough and that we must supplement. That's essential for avoiding osteoporosis and bone fractures. But what they failed to tell you is that osteoporosis and bone fractures it's due to an over-acidic diet. When you consume dairy products it makes your body acidic. The blood must stay neutral, but to do that it takes calcium from your bones to neutralize. This is what helps lead to bone fractures and stress fractures. Animal protein is very acidic. No matter how much dairy calcium you consume, you will not fix this problem and we lose about 2% of bone density a year. Did you know that 2 tablespoons of dried ground basil have almost the same amount of calcium as a glass of milk? White beans, oranges, kale, broccoli, sesame seeds, spinach, collard greens, parsley, tahini, sea vegetables and dark leafy green vegetables are all rich with calcium. Amino acids. Plant proteins is a complete protein. Calcium comes from the ground originally. Plants soak up the calcium. Animals eat that calcium and then we are told drink cow juices to get the best source of calcium for strong bones. Instead of going straight to the source, cows have been genetically modified, fed mutant GMO grains and toxic drugs. In 1970, one cow produced 970 pounds of milk. Now it's 19,000 pounds. Cows are given hormones to trigger maximum milk generation, which gives them a painful udder infection called mastitis. When the cows are milked, pus, blood and bacteria from the infection flows right along with the milk. Got pus, milk does. So the supposedly hip milk mustache is actually a creamy layer of mucus, bacteria, and pus. The Food and Drug Administration, FDA, allows 750 million pus cells in every liter of milk. These pus cells are the same pus cells that you'll find in a pimple. They do not tell you this before you give it to your children, because they know what sane people would think, which should prove they only want to profit from you and create bad health. RBGH is a synthetic hormone given to dairy cows. It increases the chance of people getting cancer. Aspartame in cow's milk. Aspartame is the most dangerous food additive on the market. They feed a certain type of toxic waste to genetically modified E. coli that cracked out the aspartame. The FDA has now changed the name aspartame to amino sweet. The dairy industry also petitioned the FDA to allow use of unlabeled aspartame in dairy products, and not just in milk but in 17 dairy products including 3 different types of yogurt. Even though aspartame is very dangerous and potentially carcinogenic, it also decreases the ability of the body to absorb tryptophan and reduces serotonin levels. 10% of aspartame is methanol, which, when heated, converts to formaldehyde, which in turn converts to formic acid, a product used to strip epoxy. This is what's going into your children's belly. The pus, blood, antibiotics, feces, and carcinogens in milk added with animal protein. Aspartame, growth hormones, is a poisonous cocktail that has been linked to these diseases: chronic fatigue, anemia, asthma and autoimmune disorders, allergies, sinuses, ear infection, irritable bowel syndrome, heart disease, cancer, type 1 diabetes, chronic constipation, high blood pressure, weak bones, toxicity in the body, migraines, bloating, gas, schizophrenia, directly causes eczema, kidney disease, arthritis, tooth decay, sinus problem, clots, Crohn's, multiple sclerosis, Parkinson's, rheumatoid arthritis. That's an inflammatory arthritis. Can cause chronic constipation and anal ruptures in children. Sleep apnea in infants. That's when they stop breathing. Human studies. Dairy protein has been shown to increase IGF-1, insulin-like growth factor 1, levels. Increased levels of IGF-1 has now been implicated in several cancers, arthritis, acne, 2 to 4 times the risk of sudden infant death syndrome, reduced intelligence measured by IQ, lymphoma and leukemia in early life, Crohn's disease, breast cancer, stroke, type 1 diabetes, dementia. Milk is designed by nature to make things grow rapidly, so of course it's going to make cancer cells grow as well. IGF-1 survives milk pasteurization and human intestinal digestion. It can be directly absorbed into the human bloodstream. Insulin-dependent, type 1 or childhood onset diabetes is linked to consumption of dairy products in infancy. A 2001 Finnish study of 3,000 infants with genetically increased risk for developing diabetes showed that early introduction of cow's milk increased susceptibility to type 1 diabetes. Estrogen can accumulate in fat. It is a chemical with demasculinizing or feminizing effects. Animal fats has actual estrogen. All estrogen from animals contains estradiol, which is 10,000 times more potent than xenoestrogen. Animal estrogen works exactly like our own. It's identical. In a glass of milk, a child's intake of estrogen is 4,000 times the amount than that of xenoestrogen in terms of hormone activity. Milk has casomorphine, which is designed to create a closer bond between mother. Cows can lactate through pregnancy due to genetic manipulation. That's when their estrogen level jumps 30-fold. Cheese lowers your sperm count. Dairy food intake has been associated with abnormal sperm shape and movement, leading to direct testicular damage. D-glycosis used to give live animals premature aging, brain degeneration, the equivalent to 1 to 2 glasses of milk a day. If you want to avoid having problems during your later years, you should avoid milk. Huge amounts of carbon dioxide emissions, land degeneration, water consumption and water contamination. It takes 1,000 liters of water to make 1 liter of milk. In a study done on postmenopausal women, one group with supplemented milk, one group without milk. The supplemented group was given 24 ounces of milk a day, 1,400 milligrams of calcium a day. Those who drank the milk lost twice as much bone. Raw milk is not exempt from trans fat, saturated fat and cholesterol. Also with raw milk you can get a batch that's contaminated with manure, that can give you an E. coli infection, which leads to death. Bovine tuberculosis, which kills 100,000 of people and is also found in goat's milk. All this can result in pulmonary disease and kidney failure. There is not one fully grown animal that drinks milk. 65 to 75% of the population is lactose intolerant. The majority lose their ability to digest milk when they are young. You have been tricked into believing that drinking milk is normal. They know it's poison, yet they push it on you anyway. They push this stuff on your children. Milk in schools programs. You and your family's lives means nothing to them. Why would you support an industry that does that? Just like those cows suffering being milked, you are being milked. The recommended amount of calcium 400 to 500 milligrams a day. Dairy Board recommend 1,000 to 1,500 a day. Paid for most of the research regarding calcium. Knowing would force anyone with a capacity for empathy to change their diet. 100 of millions of dollars they will spend to try and tell you otherwise. We are anonymous, we cannot be bought. Still want a pus-filled glass of cow juice? Well, let's go make some.
Ce jeune veau est né pendant la nuit. Il n'a que quelques heures et sa vie commence par un déchirement. À peine mis au monde, il est aussitôt arraché à sa mère. Pour des raisons économiques, il ne profitera pas du lait maternel, ne serait-ce qu'un seul jour. Sa mère est programmée pour produire du lait, pas pour nourrir des veaux, pas même le sien. L'avenir de ce veau est tout tracé. Si c'est une génisse, elle connaîtra le destin de sa mère, une vie de vache à lait pendant 5 ou 6 ans, avant de finir en steak haché. Si c'est un mâle, sa durée de vie n'excédera pas quelques mois.